Good evening, everyone. So, welcome to this program on law as a career option. Uh, Students, I've been meeting a lot of very prominent lawyers and even judges, and in the last 15 years, I've seen this field grow phenomenally. I mean, out of proportion. So, why corporate law? Lot of action on the corporate side. Even number of companies registered in India, like companies on the stock market, companies otherwise, has grown phenomenally. Lot of litigation, trademark infringement, copyright, mergers and acquisition has been happening. So in the Indian environment, even M&A is something which is pretty recent. So thanks to all of this, law as a career has gained an amazing prominence. If I look at schools, if I look at top schools all across, every school, maybe 15 years back, if two people would put up their hands for law, that yes, I'm interested. Today, it'll be maybe 15 people who are looking at law. Of course, it also has to go with this that humanities as a choice of stream has increased phenomenally. I mean, across the schools, people are taking humanities as a career option. So, law can also lead us to different options, which I'll be detailing how step by step we can do it, like public policy. Like you could be working with the government, yeah. You could be working with top consulting organizations also. So I'll discuss all these options. So this webinar will help you understand one, law as a career option. Second, how do I look at CLAT? How do I prepare for it? How do I go about if you are a student in 12th right now, then I mean you have to fill it up pretty fast because the exam is on 18th of December. And then of course the next step is how do I look at international? A lot of people after pursuing their degrees in India want to go to any other country and build up their career there. Alternatively, some people want to go directly also. So people have a misconception around law as a career option that if I do it from outside, let's say if I do it from UK, can I come back to India and do work here? So we'll discuss in detail about that also. So hang up till the very end and understand. If you have any questions, put it up in the comment section. I'll be very happy to answer these questions. So let's start right now, guys. Let's start. Let's start understanding law as a career option. Review if you can put on the PPT. So, of course, I should at this time also talk about like people who have made it very big in the field of law. So, check out a person called Harish Salve. So his company is helping out Reliance Industries all over. So he has a lot of offices all over India and some outside also, and they represent Reliance. Pinky Anand, who's on the government side, so currently working full time with the government, uh, social jurist, Mr. Agarwal. I remember meeting and going to Mr. M.C. Mehta's house long time back when I was doing my MBA from FMS Delhi. So I went to his house. He's a noted environmental lawyer. Do a Google search on Mr. M.C. Mehta. He gave like his entire life was dedicated to this. Mr. Prashant Bhushan, yeah, all of these. So I hope everyone can listen to me clearly. Someone is saying increase your voice. Someone maybe you can increase the volume of your laptop or any device you're using. But yes, I have come closer, so I'll try to speak loudly. My throat is slightly bad, so okay. Uh, let's understand different opportunities. What are the new futuristic emerging careers in law? Very exciting. Next, civil rights and liberties. You are seeing what is happening in Russia-Ukraine war. Lot of people have been displaced, not only from Ukraine. See, people are thinking from Ukraine, people are run away, even from Russia also. So there are a lot of Russians who fear for their life, for their property, for whatever. So there's a huge migration from Russia also. Yeah. Now, how from Ukraine there are people who have gone through buses, crossed borders on foot. I mean, the stories are heart rendering. So if you check out these online, you'll find it's a huge case for civil rights. Yeah. So how should like Russia, even if it is a country which is the aggressor, so they need to provide a safe passage to people who want to leave the country. Yeah. So if it is not happening, then how they can be taken to court? How can and there'll be a lot of cases on this also. Yeah. So there are people yeah, someone will talk about it. Privacy law. So in UK and couple of other countries, you know, websites, if they have taken your name, email, other details, phone number, other details, they need to scrub it out. They cannot keep it permanently, you know. Otherwise, they come under the ambit of privacy law. So law is a big career option. So Google, Meta, they all keep on getting into trouble. If you look at cases filed against them, uh, cases filed against Facebook, even WhatsApp, you'll find privacy law is being invoked. So antitrust law. So Google versus Europe, cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrency is basically a virtual digital assets. Like in India, they're taxed at 30%, but no clear rules. So a lot of laws are emerging on this area because cryptocurrency is something which again has been going up, down, up, down. Also in India, the like it's not supported. The government has not really given a clear verdict on it, but they need to understand. Drone laws, removal of restrictions in India for companies and import of parts. Yeah. So drone laws, a lot of drone laws are being changed right now. Okay, there's a new field, fashion law. Imagine uh, Sabyasachi is launching, let's say, a new collection for wedding wear, and the first dress which he shows is already available in the market at 10 different places. Yeah, so he can file an injunction under the fashion law. So a lot of laws which will help the fashion industry blossom, help them combat piracy, any other things. So that all comes under the ambit of fashion law. So that's a specialization which you can really qualify on and you can work on it. And then BSc law, a combination. In India, a lot of dum-dums, I mean students, sorry, they take science and they keep on. And then after 12, they realize, I don't want to look at science, but still they want something related to science. So BSc law, Gujarat National Law University was the one to start this, and they have this. So imagine you are working with Ranbaxy, Cipla, Dr. Reddy's. What is the job? Any new medicine, so you are getting a patent done worldwide. You are getting trademark registration done. You are fighting cases if somebody else is taking your patent. So in India, there's a lot of brouhaha about process patent and product patent. Yeah. So RIA is asking environmental law. Environmental law, RIA, you can take up normal law only, like 5 year law course, and then you can specialize in that in fifth year. Yeah. So most of the top law institute will have part programs in environmental law. If you want to do a super specialization, you can go outside. So during my presentation, I'll be covering that. It'll take some time, but I'll cover that also. Okay, next. Next, please. Like this is 6 months of Russia-Ukraine war. So 6.65 million Ukrainians fled to Europe. Yeah, can you imagine that? Now, how are you being treated in some other country? What is the international community doing about it? Yeah, all these are questions to be answered, and also like again, legal case. What happens to their property? What happens to civil rights? Yeah. Next. Google's antitrust case. So Google was asked to give a fine of 4.3 billion pounds. Yeah, because Google abused its place and they didn't let anybody. You know, everyone has to go through them. So food blog, fishing website, everyone. So so a lot of competitors lost out. So Europe they took up very seriously and they filed a case against Google. So they're like, and sometimes Google uses newspapers, news, some other online thing which people have kept. So Google automatically uses it. Yeah. So everyone got together and filed it. So in South Korea, they were asked to pay 50 million US dollars. Okay. So these are all antitrust cases. Next. This is taxation on virtual digital assets, which our finance minister had announced. So on cryptocurrencies and NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Yeah. So starting from this year itself. So this is again very latest. So maybe some people, like one of my students, has specialized in finance and law. Yeah. So in India, you can take up degree BBA law. So the best institute for taking up a management and law combined degree is IIM Rohtak. IIM Rohtak has a 5-year program which is like law plus management. Next, to try to understand. So if you are in 11th and 12th class, try to understand this. Go to some institution for summer camp, law-related summer camp. Like OP Jindal has a summer camp called Aspire. You can go for Aspire summer camp. You can go to Symbiosis where you can do a combined summer camp, which is like management law combined summer camp. Yeah. So any of these you could look at. Next, okay, in this, I can't really read this. What is this agreement of? Oh, drone pilot license. So drone laws, like in India, again, drone laws have changed. In fact, my brother gifted me a drone. I kept it for a good 3 years, and I stay at a society. Behind me is some specialist government agency, like a intelligence agency kind. I mean, that's what we hear. I'm not so sure. So I never took it out because one of my friends in the police service told me that you can be liable. So I thought maybe if I go to some faraway place, I'll use it, which I didn't. Then I gifted it to a school which wanted to use it. So that's how my story is about drones. But drone laws, drones, the ease of use has been now uh, given a head go by the government. So I can see drone deliveries. I can think of drones keeping a watch over events. I can think of drones being used in wedding photography and so on. Next. Okay, LGBTQ as well as gender law. Again, a very, very contentious issue because India is completely divided. There have been changes in law also, but there will be specialists who will specialize in this also. You know, gender parity, LGBTQ, multi-party negotiation, alternative dispute. In courts, it takes so much time. So there has to be an alternative dispute resolution. So there are people who are specializing in that also. Yeah. Environmental law, like near Bhalaswa, you would have seen a big waste, big Kude ka Pahad. Yeah. Now there'll be people who will be impacted. So Bhalaswa Dairy, people who stay near that, thanks to the rainwater, which will take harmful chemicals, comes into the groundwater, and people are using for drinking, bathing, and so on. So skin problems, cancer kind of diseases. So they might file a case against public utilities. In fact, there's a Netflix show on this also. So this is one side. Pollution impact. So again, Delhi government people might just get together, a lot of people, and file a case against Delhi government. Yeah. So all these things are something which would be covered under environmental law. Inheritance law. So there are a lot of disputes regarding properties, regarding gold, regarding money which are left behind. So inheritance law is a separate unit of law which deals with this. Healthcare law. So let's say you took admission in a hospital and they botched up the operation. Something bad happened. Now, how you can take the doctor or the hospital to court? Step by step, how it should be done. Similarly, on their side, the hospital has managed everything. The doctor did everything right, but the patient died. Then he's being threatened or some other thing is happening. So how he can use the law to help himself? Yeah. Food law. That like general this thing is that food would reach all people in a country, a typical country. Poverty law, yeah. Corporate law is big, very, very big. Like I was saying earlier, mergers and acquisition. Corporate law would cover, trademark infringements, trademark registration. If one competitor hires from the other competitor all the people, so that is also covered under corporate law. Yeah. So all these kind of laws under corporate law would be considered to be emerging careers. Next. So the fun part is that you don't need to decide right now. Whenever I say about this, a lot of people keep on asking, "Sir, I don't know which law I would join in." So don't worry about it. Give it some time. Uh, you need to have exposure to different fields in law, and then only you can decide. So I will not tell you which one to do. Yeah. Of course, at any point of time, a career counselor like me can say these three are really going strong, but still it depends on you. You can choose. Do you want to work with big companies? Do you want to work for the cause of environment? Do you want to work in fashion side? Like one of my students, Manita, just visited. and she is passed out from OP Jindal, which is a good law school. And she says, I want to specialize in fashion law. Why not? Yeah. So immigration law. I have a lot of friends who are in Canada and they work in the field of immigration. And they've typically done a 1 year course in immigration law and then they have built up themselves. Then we have constitutional law. So riots have happened and now things are in the court. So at times constitutional law is invoked. International law. Enron started an company in India, in Maharashtra, the Bhol Power Corporation. And then they had a fight with the government itself. Now the government can influence the judges here. So it will be settled in an international court of justice. Sometimes two countries, let's say India and Pakistan, they have a fight over water sharing. So there's a river which flows half in Pakistan, half in India. You know, so how water sharing will happen? So again, it's an international matter, international law. Similarly, companies are there who are working across continents. So they are again governed a lot of time by international law. Yeah. So all these are emerging areas in law. Next. So I have given you emerging areas. Now quickly let's talk about universities. So NLS Bangalore is India's topmost university for law. Of course, National Law University Delhi is also good. Nalsar is counted amongst top three universities in India. Kharagpur, IIT Kharagpur has a law program. In fact, for parents who keep on viewing law as something which may not give their child a good career, please understand IIT also has a law program today. National University Jodhpur is very good. Yeah. So NLS was established all over India. You can look at these. So CLAT is one exam which you have to give for 22 universities across India. So CLAT examination will happen on only an offline mode. So you have to go to a center to give it. The date of the exam is 18 December from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. If you are NRI, if you are, of course, if you're an Indian citizen, PIO, person of Indian origin, OCI, if you want admission in India in UG, you will have to give CLAT. If you're a foreign national who wants to study in India, you don't need CLAT. So, of course, you can still refer to e-brochures which are floated by all the institutes, all the NLUs or the top institutes. So, NRI candidates, as I said earlier, will have to appear for CLAT 2023, and all information regarding intake reservation policy is available on their websites. Online enrollment will close on 13th November, that is within 2 days. Yeah, 13th November. So, midnight 13th November, 1 minute before midnight. Okay. So once you fill up the form, then of course the second thing on your mind is how do I prepare for the exam and what comes in the exam. So CLAT 2023 will be a 2 hour test with 150 multiple choice questions carrying 1 mark each. There will be a negative marking of 0.25. Yeah. Yeah, there are NRI sponsored seats. Prasanna, there are. I'll be sharing our number. You can connect with us. We can help you understand how to get for it, how to go for it. Maybe you can just share our WhatsApp numbers. Okay, coming back to CLAT. So it's a 2 hour test. There are five areas. There are five areas which you can look at. The five subject areas: English language, general knowledge, legal reasoning, logical reasoning, and quantitative techniques. So these are five things which will build up for CLAT. So when it comes to English language, 450 words passages are there, and then passages followed by passages you have questions which test your comprehension, language skills, and so on. You will draw inferences and conclusions based on the passage and summarize the passage. Current affairs, including general knowledge, so news, non-fiction writing, any contemporary events happening, art and culture, international affairs, everything. Then you have legal reasoning. So there's a passage which talks about some legal principle and then how you'll apply it to a situation which is discussed there. Then logical reasoning, again argument, premise, and conclusions. Read and identify the arguments set out in the passage, then critically analyze patterns of reasoning. Assess how conclusions may depend on particular premises or evidence. Yeah. So basically, you have to understand, infer, assess, and then identify any contradictions, and then answer the questions correctly. Quantitative techniques, maths, very, very basic, till 10th class maths will be there. All these things, you can also check out the consortium of NLU's website, which is consortium of nlus.ac.in. You'll get all the details. They'll also publish model test paper, everything in detail will be published there. Yeah, so you can just check it out. Next, any questions coming to your mind, you can just share it here. Next, please. Okay, law abroad. So if you're a person, Prasanna, you can just share your number, just WhatsApp, and my team will send it to you. You can WhatsApp on general inquiries number, and my team will send it to you. Okay, law abroad. Next, the law in UK. See, lot of laws in India were developed when India was a colony of UK. So we are very, very close. Yeah, that is why my first country of choice is UK. Whenever anybody start discussing, I say UK. So Bachelor of Law, 3 to 4 years depends on which university where. So the degree is LLB. Again, depends. You might spend. It is slightly less. You might spend anything from 20 to 35 lakhs per annum. Per annum. Yeah. There are BCI, Bar Council of India accredited law universities in UK also. You can click on this website to understand. barcouncilofindia.org. Yeah. Next. So after 12th, so UK you have a test called LNAT. Can I go without LNET also? Few universities do take without LNET also, but it's a good idea. If you're preparing for law here, maybe you're applying to India as well as abroad, so LNET is quite similar. Same 12 argumentative passages, multiple choice questions, yeah, and then essay questions are there. So quite a lot of similarity. And then of course you have to give IELTS or TOEFL also. So LNET is a test which you give to get into law in UK. The top universities require LNET, but some universities can go without LNET also. Next, so Oxford, Cambridge, King's College, University College London, London School of Economics and Political Science, Queen Mary's, University of Manchester, any of these. Next, without LNET, Edinburgh, Warwick, like Warwick is a good university, Glasgow is a pretty good university, Queen Mary's, Manchester is ranked quite highly in international this thing. Yeah. So any of these you could look at. I don't know, Prasanna, you can try to join again because I think other people are able to see it. Any other person who's not able to see, just share, then we will see. But I think others are able to see because I am also on a different laptop. It's being shared by a different person. Next, LLM. Now, maybe you've done law in India. Now you want to go for law outside. So, 1 to 2.5 years. Master of Laws, again, like King College, I'm showing you, 27 to 31 lakh. It is 1 year. Yeah. So, a lot of places it will be 1 year. Some places it might be more. And you can specialize in corporate law, gender studies. We were discussing human rights, IPR, intellectual property rights, public law, yeah, any of these areas you can specialize in. Next. So, Oxford, Cambridge, King's College, again, the same set of universities are top universities for LLM also. Next. Law in Australia. After UK, my second bet is on Australia. Why? Because again, the structures are quite similar. 4 to 6 years of education, generally 4 years if you're doing LLB, but 5 or 6 years if you're doing a dual majors like law plus public policy, law plus international relations. Yeah. So typically fees would range around 27 lakhs to 35 lakhs per annum. And again, a lot of universities are accredited with BCI, which is Bar Council of India. Next. So 10 plus 2, and they have an exam called LSAT. So a lot of places, the top universities will be through an exam. Like in UK, it was LNAT, here it is LSAT. And the score ranges between 120 to 180. And of course, a language test, which is IELTS and TOEFL. Next. So top universities are University of Sydney, ANU, Monash, University of South Wales, and so on. So these are the top universities you can look at. Next. Australia, you can get good scholarships also. So ANU has law plus commerce. ANU also has law. It is not written here, but it has law plus international relations, law plus public policy. Yeah. Same with UNSW. It has business management and law, quite similar to the upper one. And similarly, Monash has Bachelor of Law plus Bachelor of Arts, Psychology plus Law at University of Newcastle. So all these you can look at. Next, Master of Law, like at Monash, typical fees around 35 lakhs, typically 1 year, sometimes some other universities 2 years also. Next, we're talking about Australia now. So you can go after a bachelor's and of course a language test. So in other countries it is different because a lot of people ask about US and Canada. US and Canada you don't do law directly. You do a pre-law course. So in US I might do a 4 year course and then go for JD, Juris Doctorate. Next. So US and Canada it works differently. UK and Australia quite similar to India. So the number of years would be different. Next. Dual degrees, so which we discussed earlier. At a master's level also there can be dual degrees at various universities like Queensland, Western Australia and so on. Next. So all in all, and law it's not necessary to do a master's. After bachelor's, more than 80% people work. Yeah. So once you've undertaken, you know that this is my specialization. Work on it for some time. Then, if you need to change or you're looking at teaching and research, then you do masters. But unlike other domains, unlike other career options, here doing a masters doesn't ensure you have great salary. Yeah, masters is typically done by people who either want to change their field or people who are looking at teaching, research, and so on. Next. Kangan T has a solution for you, Prasanna. Change your phone orientation to landscape. Okay, where do I join after law? Surprisingly, people coming out of top 10 law institutes, more than 50% people will never work in the courts. Where do they work? Consulting companies, legal consulting. Example, or they're called law firms also. Try Legal, Luthra and Luthra, Amarchand Mangaldas, Khitan and Company. Yeah. So I want you to go online and look for these, see what all do they do, check out their websites, you'll get clear cut ideas. They might work with corporates. So Indian Oil, Nestle, all of them all of them would hire lawyers. So maybe you're working with Nestle, so you don't go to the court to fight. Suppose there's a trademark infringement case, you will hire a specialist who will go and represent you in court, but you will manage it. So you become more like a manager in the legal department. Yeah, but of course you can choose to be in court also. Finance side, there's lot of need. Yeah, any international organization like UN, UNESCO, UNICEF, media and publishing houses, they face a lot of cases. So a media house shows something against a politician. The politician files a lot of cases, hires the best lawyers. Yeah. So media houses also hire a lot of lawyers, full time as well as part time, like on retainership. NGOs, the real estate industry. Yeah. So outside India, the salaries can be amazing. Like this is an approximate idea, but starting salaries can be anywhere from 3 to 5 lakhs per month. Next, if I'm looking at UK or Australia. In India, if you're from top institutes, maybe 60,000 to a lakh and 50,000 rupees per month. Next, top 3 4 institutes. Next. So if you have done it from outside India, you can register. If it is a bar council that recognize this thing, it can happen immediately. You can you can apply to your state bar council, or you can sit on an exam and then you can just start practicing. But more for people who want to practice. If you're going to corporate, international, honestly doesn't matter. I've got some from India who have joined UK-based companies, law firms. I've got some from outside who have come to India. If your research skills are good, you'll be able to join a good law firm. Next, next, please. Next. This is the same. Okay. So in case you want to connect with us, you can connect on Instagram, jitinchavla.careerguru. Also on YouTube, we have put up a lot of videos. So this video also would be available if your friends who have missed or your, I don't know, enemies, you can share it with them and they can go through it. And if you have any questions, you can ask me now. Any questions? So if you want our help, like if you're a 12th class student, you're looking at study abroad, you're actually very late. But can you go right now? Answer is yes. All the applications are still open. You have not done your profile, you have not done major things, you don't have certificates, don't worry about it. People like us, uh, we understand the international application, Indian application thoroughly. We will help you in each step. Yeah. So we've got application teams, we've got profile building team. If you're in 10th, 11th class and you're looking at profile building, please get in touch with us. I'll I'll organize. I'll get a free profile building session organized for you with your parents. Understand, and then we can check how you can join and take it forward. Next. Any questions, people? If you have, you can just share. Oh, I think this is the last. So any questions you have, you can quickly share. Okay. So we are based at Southex in Delhi, but we do, maybe you are from outside Delhi, outside India. We do career counseling online also and offline mode also. Uh, we help children with their profile, which means helping them with internships, social work, research project, getting it published, tech project, any competitions, summer camps. So everything we keep on sharing step by step, and we build up. So get in touch with us if you want the best services for career planning as well as study abroad. It might be that you are looking at India. Then also we have complete services where we'll help you understand Indian options, top universities, competitions, how do you prepare for one, and step by step, how do you reach there. So with this, I'd like to thank all of you. You've been a nice, patient audience. Listen well. If you have any queries, be in touch with us. This video also will be uploaded on the YouTube. Thank you. Bye bye.